Hi, Melissa Deely back for another edition of Health Hack. And this week I'm talking about common gut health issues. And today I want to talk about parasites and H. pylori. And they sound horrible and scary and maybe things that you don't think about in our first world. However, the reality is that 14% of North Americans have parasites and 30% have H. pylori. And now, how do we get these? Well, parasites we can get through contaminated drinking water, but also from raw fish, shellfish, crustaceans, undercooked meat, etc. And H. pylori we tend to get through contaminated drinking water. Now, parasites are, there's many different kinds, but typical ones you've probably heard of are things like roundworm, hookworm, tapeworm, etc. And H. pylori is another pathogen that tends to latch onto the lining of our stomach wall, and left untreated, it can trigger ulcers. In fact, 90% of all ulcers are caused by H. pylori. And here's what's interesting. We think ulcers are triggered by stress, and that's definitely a factor because if you've listened to previous health hacks, you've heard me talk about the fact that high stress has the body not producing enough stomach acid. And when we don't produce enough stomach acid, we're not able to kill off these pathogens as they get into our body, which is what that stomach acid is supposed to do, which is why we're seeing higher incidences with this high stress society, higher incidences of H. pylori and parasites. So again, these are things that we can lab test for. If you're starting to have symptoms, things aren't feeling quite right, you're not sure what's going on, these are things that we can absolutely lab test for to determine, do you have them? And once we know what you have, what's going on inside your body, we then know exactly what steps to be taking in order to get rid of those pathogens so that you can regain your health. If you have questions, you'd like to discuss this more, just go to my website, yourguidedhealthjourney.com, click the contact form, and reach out, and I'd be happy to reply.